All right, here's this story that seems to come out of nowhere. I'm Rick Sanchez. Welcome back, by the way. So the Pentagon, as aforementioned, has just released some short video footage of not bombs, not rockets going off, not, you know, accusations against another country. It's something much more interesting, something that involves what appears to be UFOs. It's video of a UFO of some type. The Pentagon refers to them as UAPs. That's an unidentified aerial phenomenon. They just released this a few hours ago. We picked up on it. Here it is. Take a look at it.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA.
That's a pilot.
Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude.
Look at that thing, dude. All right, here's another video. Here's the second one. They got 3 of these they've just put out. See what you make out. The pilots seem to be...
Oh, got it!
Roger. There's troubleshooting.
All right, so as we're looking at these pictures, I want to bring in our next guest. He is the former commander of the International Space Station, Leroy Chiao. Let me just tell you what is being written. This story, by the way, CNN has much of the original reporting on this. And as they're reporting the story, there's a private organization that had these video, had originally put them out. The Pentagon kind of poo-pooed the whole thing. Now, apparently, the Pentagon says, okay, fine, we'll put them out and sanction them as official Pentagon videos that remain unexplained. So I turn to you, Leroy. Do you have an explanation?
Well, my hunch, of course, I don't know, but my hunch is that these aircraft or, aerocraft are some kind of secret military program that the Navy and or Air Force may or may not know about. Left hand doesn't always know what the right hand's doing. And so, they're probably captured video from fighter aircraft that have seen or captured some of these aircraft doing flight tests. And so we just don't know what it is, but I highly doubt it's from another planet or aliens, things like that. In the past, this is what it's always turned out to be. It's always turned out to be a secret military program that one side or another doesn't necessarily know about.
Does that match this? Because I'm going to read you what some guy named Luis Elizondo, he's the former head of the classified program, he tells CNN the following: there's very compelling evidence that we may not be alone. He goes on to say, in quotes, these aircraft, we'll call them aircraft, are displaying characteristics that are not currently within the U.S. inventory nor any other foreign inventory that we are aware of. What do you make of that?
Well, sure. I mean, there's always the possibility, and I think it's infinitesimally small possibility, that these are alien spacecraft. Because in the past, I remember John Young, very famous astronaut, I was flying with him one day, and he described an incident back in the 1960s where he looked up and he saw a series of puffs very high in the sky, some kind of vehicle traveling extremely fast, probably hypersonic. He was flying a supersonic aircraft himself. And of course, it was probably a pulse jet. And we had pulse jet technology back in the 60s that nobody knew about. So who knows what technology we have today that the public and even some of the specialists don't know about.
How long were you up there as head of the International Space Station?
I was the commander of the station for 6.5 months, and all told, over my 4 missions, I spent a little over 229 days in space.
Did you see anything weird?
Oh, yeah. I saw plenty weird over my missions. Absolutely. I remember on my very last spacewalk while I was aboard the space station, we were doing a Russian spacewalk, and we were in that twilight between transitioning from nighttime to daytime. And during that time, murky, you don't know what you're looking at. And I saw like 4, and I called out to my Russian crewmate in Russian. I asked, hey, Saljan, did you see those lights? Did you see those lights fly by? And he was facing the other way, so he didn't see it. And then we went into sunlight, and they were gone. And at the time, I didn't think they were any kind of UFO. I thought it was probably some kind of military satellite constellation. And then, so the internet being what it is, instantly there are all these conspiracy theorists saying that I had seen UFOs and flying saucers. But then just as quickly, people knew exactly what time I made that transmission. They were able to figure out exactly where the station was at that time. And it turns out we were right off the coast of South America, and there was a line of fishing boats using very bright lights to attract squid. And so that's what it was. And it was the rotation of the Earth that made it look like it was flying.
So just to quote you correctly then, what you're saying is, yes, they may be unidentified. Yes, they may be weird, these things that we are seeing in these videos, but they very well may be explained by something the Pentagon is working on that they can't tell us yet what it is.
Right, exactly. And the fact that they released them because they're already out there. So rather than fuel more speculation, okay, here are the UFO videos, but we're not going to tell you what they are.
Leroy Chiao, he was up there in the International Space Station, as he describes, and he can't confirm whether these things are UFOs or whether he saw any, but nonetheless, there's the story, not being put out by us once again, but being put out by the Pentagon. Wow, what a story. Thank you.